Do you often find yourself trapped in the loop of excuses rather than embrace the action? Yet deep down, you get that feeling that excuse is just keeping you from achieving success. Excuses are commonly used, I'd say at least about 99.7% of the time. And that 0.3% that hold very strong to that no excuse philosophy on that exclusive list, I definitely would put David Goggins on. And then yet the rest of the 99.7% are just being deceived by those excuses. That little voice inside your head that keeps telling you, you can't do this, you can't do that, you're not good enough, you don't have the time for it. But the truth is, excuses are nothing but barriers to your success and growth. They prevent you from taking risk, from pushing yourself, and from achieving your true potential. Let's be honest, I'll raise my hand here. We've been there, making the excuse to justify the lack of progress.
I'm too busy. I'm not good enough. I'm afraid of failing.
And these are just a few examples of the countless excuses out there. And then what tends to happen that those words keep getting said so often that you start to believe it. Holding straight and true to that quote, a lie told often enough becomes the truth. And now you're starting to believe it. But wait, there's more. The next part, before you know it, it becomes part of your identity and you identify with it. Now you identify as someone who's too busy or just not good enough or too scared to pursue your dreams. Now, what if I told you, and don't be mad at me here, but know the truth shall set you free? And it might sting a little bit. So, those excuses are nothing but a cop out. What if I told you those excuses are inaccurate? Example, too busy. And I'm sure you've heard this one, so I'm not the first to say this. We all have that same amount of 24 hours in the day, 7 days a week. It's not about how much time we have, it's about how we choose to use it. Not good enough example. Says who? The person who possibly had told you this, who had a mind virus and most likely was told themselves when they were younger and they believed the BS and now they're just precipitating that lie and attempting to sell you on that too, that you're just not good enough? No, not true. You are good enough. So you can see the issue. How often using excuses is a way to give yourself a pass, to avoid to take the responsibility of the action or the challenge, blaming the circumstances, blaming others, blaming everything else versus taking ownership ourselves. It's been said, when we're no longer able to change the situation, we are challenged to then change ourselves. Remember, you are the one responsible for your growth and success. You are the one that gets to make those choices. You are the one who takes the risk. You are the one that can push yourself to be better. So, why are these excuses made? Is it from a fear of failure? Is it a fear of being judged by others? Is it simply just not willing to put in the effort? The answer is a combination of all of these. Our brain is wired to avoid pain and discomfort. We are wired for comfort. And taking risks and pursuing our dreams can be a perceived uncomfortability. It's the great unknown. And that unknown can be scary. It can be tough. It can be overwhelming. But know this too, our brains are also wired for accountability. You can hold yourself accountable. You can be responsible for your actions. then you can start to see things differently, starting to realize that you're more capable than what you thought, that you're stronger than you realize. And that's when the magic happens. That's when you start to grow. That's when you start to achieve your true potential. Excuses be gone. I'd love to share with you a story really quick that illustrates this perfectly. I like to use David Goggins as an example. And if you haven't read his book, Can't Hurt Me, I highly recommend it. I even more so recommend the audio. I'll put a link in the description. The reason being, I recommend the audio of it because they do something really different. After each chapter, they have this kind of a podcast interview style about that chapter that you've just read about. So, in case you haven't read that, a little bit about him. David's childhood was highly challenging. He experienced mental, physical, emotional abuse by his father. His family was financially challenged. And then on top of it, too, he dealt with racism and bullying in his town, which added another layer of hardship to his life. And to cope with that pain, David ended up using food for comfort and became severely overweight and down the path to a basically dead end job. Till one day he shifted all of it. Goggins found a way to overcome his adversity. He enlisted in the Navy SEALs, which is a very grueling program mentally and physically. However, he had released his excuses, and he not only completed it, he excelled in it. And his journey didn't end there. He became a successful athlete, completing ultimate marathons and ultra endurance events. And know this, other than just doing motivational speakings, he also does firefighting in the wildlands, aka a smoke jumper. The moral of the story, it's not about the excuses. It's about taking responsibility and holding yourself accountable. And if you fail, so be it. Learn from it, adjust, and keep moving forward, pushing yourself to be better. And when this is done, you will start to see the results. You will start to see the growth. You will start to see the success. Remember, it's not about the excuses, it's about taking ownership and action. Excuses be gone. Now, keep empowering that mindset. And now that you're ready to take action and ownership, you might want to check out this video next: how to change your words to be more empowering versus disempowering to really help strengthen that excuses be gone journey.